How was that for you, Kennedy?
Look, I mean, I think for me as coach, there's you experience different feelings and emotions in a game of basketball. I think for me, and this is not taking anything away from Townsville, I was just incredibly confident with our preparation. I think the players did an exceptional job of executing game plan, individual scout, team scout, schemes. But what I was really impressed with was when we made minor adjustments throughout the game, our ability to make adjustments and then our ability to be really deliberate and focused with our offense to get the right shots based on how we're being defended. And so, look, great to have one game in the hand, but obviously as I think you've got to give this team and as us and obviously Townsville that level of respect that although we're going to the next game and if we can win one more it's a championship. We've got to mentally prepare that two would be great, but it could be a 3-game series.
And what about for you, Veronica? Your first WNBL Grand Final, obviously played in a lot of finals yourself, but how was that playing in front of, that's the best crowd we've had all year here? They were pretty pumped up about it.
Yeah, super exciting. Just to have the Bendigo community come around us has been huge. All week, really, all season. We've seen it, and the support just means the most to us, and we've seen it around the city and the sign, just everything. They're really coming around us, and they really helped us tonight. That's a big momentum shift when you have the crowd involved and have the crowd on your side. So I think we really fed off of them, and just an overall really good team win. Everyone that stepped on the floor, even the people that didn't, just contributed and found a way to make an impact. And again, as Kennedy said, the preparation that went into this is huge, and that's a big part of why we won this game. And not to say that they didn't prepare, but we just learned from it. And Kelsey said before the game, we don't win or lose a championship in one game. So we still have a lot of work to do.
For yourself, your final quarter in particular was incredible. I can't remember the stats, but I'm pretty sure you were single fingers at the start of it and then went 24. Did you have a particular motivation besides we've got to win this, or how did you go up to a next level? How was that possible?
I mean, I definitely wanted to win, and whatever that looked like was that's the best thing about this team is whoever's hot, we find them, and whoever's on, we're gonna feed them, and just that was a big thing. And just from a confidence standpoint, I think having a coaching staff that continues to believe in me, and obviously the first half, getting good looks, but they're just not falling, and even some of the third quarter as well. But just the belief was a big factor, and just staying poised and definitely just staying confident.
Can you speak to Veronica's last quarter? It was obviously huge.
We'd probably go a few steps further and just speak about her whole game, because I think Veronica shouldered a lot of responsibility today, not just working in combination with Kelly with the point guard roles and having to execute and run certain plays and create the right shot at the right time, right situation, but had to defend a player that's incredibly talented in Nia Coffey and had that matchup for the majority of the game, did an exceptional job. And that's not we know obviously every game is very different, but I think Coffey I think we did a great job as a team and individually just with being able to limit her impact on the game, because she's a very talented player and she's played in this league before and knows and understands what it's about, and she's played playoff basketball in the WNBL before. So I think just V's impact at both ends of the floor was incredible. But again, a big part of the game that V's exceptional at, obviously ability to finish on the rim and create passes and create shots for her teammates, but also she made some really big shots on the perimeter in a game where perhaps in the first half it felt like we couldn't throw the ball into the ocean, but to that point we just stuck with our process because we were getting high quality shots and believed that eventually they were going to drop, and then in the second half it felt like the lid came off a little for us.
It was a game of persistence.
Yeah, attrition, if you want to say that, and defense. I think what the people watching that game saw were two really talented, high caliber teams play a really competitive, good game of basketball.
So what does the next couple of days hold for you before Sunday?
For me, it requires review tonight. The job, for the players, it involves recovery. Involves reflection, and then it will be review when we come together. But a day off tomorrow, obviously we prioritise recovery is going to be really important for us. then we'll come back on Friday and do some video review as a team and train. And what training looks like when you get into this point of the season looks very different from what training looks like in pre-season. We ain't going to be doing no 2-minute, drills where we're sprinting and it's high intensity. It's got to be really methodical and really well thought out. For us, obviously, we need to bookmark some of the things we did really well today in this game, and we need to be ready for some of the adjustments that no doubt Townsville are going to make. And so trying to stay a step ahead will be really important for us in our preparation for players. It's about recovery and review and reloading for the next game.
Yeah, you went into the second half a couple of points down. What did you guys talk about, or did you make any changes going into that second half to come out with a 10-point win?
Yep, well, I don't want to make it easy for Shannon because I know he'll have to watch the game, and I know he'll do that. He does a great job of that sort of stuff. So we certainly made some tweaks to our defence, but from my perspective, it was really just about, hey, here's how we're being defended in some areas, here's where we can create some advantages. And just continue to encourage this group to shoot the right shots because they were shooting all the right shots at the time and they just weren't dropping. And I think sometimes we've all seen it before in professional sport. Sometimes that birding can get really heavy if it almost becomes a disease that you catch if people can't. We're not making shots, but we're shooting the right shots. So my job as coach is to continue to encourage them to shoot the shots because they're generating great looks.
There was one play. It was obviously in the second quarter. They were ribbing in, ribbing out, but Abby Weerum, a real. She took it there.
The jelly shot, the lap on the right hand.
How big a spark did that sort of give you to that period of the game, you feel?
Honestly, I don't know how it felt for you, V, because I wasn't playing, but certainly I felt like almost every shot in that game mattered and created momentum.
I think there were two big, that one was one of them in the first half, and then Kelly Wilson 3 in the second half. I think those were some just like backbreakers for them. That we really fed off because then it's just everyone is stepping up and it's the tough one sometimes. Like we can make a simple reverse layup, but Abby makes a spin crazy, but that's what they do and that's what we practice and huge momentum ones, both of them.
So do you think it'll be, I'm sure, like a challenge for the group keeping, you won games from a championship, but sort of putting that aside and just sort of remaining focused on the drop ahead over the next 48 hours?
I think that's where the experience comes into. We know what it's like. This is great, feels good right now, and we have about 3 more hours to maybe enjoy it, and then it's on to the next because it's still wide open.
3 hours. I wish I had 3 hours.
We have 3 hours. Then the clock hits midnight.
I think to the V's point, this is where experienced campaigners and veterans of the game come into play, knowing that they've been, we got a lot of players who've been in this position before, so I think that they will know what's the priority right now. We'll keep things in check. We understand that there's still potentially 2 more games to play, and so our focus will be, hyper-focused over the next 3 days prior to playing again on Sunday.
And obviously, level at 3/4 time, how big was the crowd for you in that last quarter, that home crowd, and just giving you that little extra burst that you perhaps needed?
I'll let you answer that because you felt that.
Huge. That's basketball, that's sports. But it's just, this is what we work for. This is what we, when no one's in the gym, that's the hours that are being put in, this is the reward and just reaping the benefits. And that's why we appreciate the city coming together and supporting us the way they did because it's just fun. Who doesn't want to be a part of that? Who doesn't want to be out there and just feel it and enjoy it? It's just, unfortunately, it's going to be the same in Townsville for Townsville. So just not getting too wrapped up in that, but it's a beautiful thing. That's the best part about sports.
Clean bill of health?
Yep, clean bill of health. We're as anyone as good as and as healthy as you can be at this point of the season. But again, looking forward to game 2.
Quick one on Townsville. Obviously have put a lot of effort into Sammy. Obviously had significant intel into it. Can you talk a little bit about that? I assume you expected it and planned for that.
Yep. Again, probably the things you can expect will happen. Probably will happen. And again, I think where probably that gave them an advantage in some areas, gave us an advantage in other areas. And for our group tonight, again, the playing group. I can't credit them enough for being great at utilising their schemes against them because that's exactly what our game plan was, and we knew that would potentially happen. And we've had 23 games of practice of that now, and some games Sammy will still find a way and get off. Obviously today Townsville did a very good job in that space. So again, there's always adjustments, and we'll continue to make adjustments going into the next game, and try and create Sammy a little more separation space so she can do what she does very well.
And I think just it's a testament to her selflessness, because at the end of the day, Sammy's not going to force shots that aren't there. She's a phenomenal passer and a willing passer. And when you have a superstar and MVP that's willing to let other people go off, if that's what it needs to be to win, she's willing to do that. And I have no doubt that the next game, it's going to be Sammy or whoever it may be. But I think her willingness to be a screener or be whatever it is for us to win and succeed is huge. And at the end of the day, we all have the most confidence that she can drop 30 at any night too. So.
You good, Luke?
Thank you.
Thanks
guys.
everybody.
Oh,
Bendigo speak.